Hi and hello to all my beanie weenies out there. This is, of course, your host, Hot Dogs, and it is day 51, 8:12 a.m. here in the Sims 4 Big Brother UK All-Stars house. Alright, so Brian Bello is the first house guest to wake up as he, tries to get to the bathroom without peeing himself. Meanwhile, the sun is just now beginning to rise over the Big Brother house, and the day is just now getting started. Now, yesterday, our 5 finalists celebrated Harvest Day with Hot Dogs himself, and they all just kind of hung out. They all received an additional 500 big bucks out of their inquiries, and today, they will be given another opportunity to earn even more. And throughout the week, they're going to be given tasks every single day to earn as much big bucks as they can before they leave, as they're going to be able to keep the big bucks that they earn. And of course, at the end of the week, a winner will be crowned and the series will be over. We see that Isabelle is the second house guest to get up for the morning as she's, waddles her way to the bathroom as well. Meanwhile, Brian, now that he is awake, is doing what all the house guests have been doing recently, and that is cleaning. So as soon as he gets up, he heads to the kitchen and starts cleaning up some dishes that were left over from the night before. Meanwhile, Isabelle sadly gets pranked on a toilet. She is then covered in toilet water. All the toilets are broken and stinky, and now she is too. Not a really great way to start off the morning. And then we see Davina comes in, and she is starting to use the bathroom, and we see that she, in fact, is the pranker. She is the one pranking all the toilets. I'm pretty sure it's just her and Brian. And she pranks the toilet and then goes ahead and pees like a man into it, standing up. I thought that was pretty impressive, pretty weird. We see that Josie actually walked in on that and saw what was going on. And of course, she has to sit down and make a comment about it. Meanwhile, me, myself, and I, Hot Dogs, is just going around collecting trash and cleaning up the place as well. We see that Josie is feeling a bit gassy today, a little bit bloated, as she sits in that massage chair and just farts the night away. Meanwhile, as I said, Hot Dogs is doing some cleaning, while in the storage room, we see that Brian, Ryland, and Isabelle were all in there. It looks like Ryland has grabbed some leftovers from last night and is just catching up with Isabelle, talking about the morning gossip before the day really gets started.
Pardu skinsa plosh.
Now at 10:11 a.m., Hot Dogs and Big Brother are going to go ahead and call our 5 finalists back into the living room, as, like I said earlier, we're going to be having another task today. That way our house guests can earn a little bit more big bucks before they have to leave on Friday. It does take a little bit of time still to get all 5 house guests into the living room and seated, but once they are, me, myself, and I, Hot Dogs, is able to come out of the diary room and present them with their new task. Now, the task room that is located past the diary room has been transformed once again. This time it has been transformed into a little bar. All 5 of you plus Hot Dogs is going to go in there, drink up, have fun, dance, but also you will see that in this bar there is a dartboard. All of you will take turns at the dartboard, and whoever scores the most will earn a special little prize at the end. So all of our house guests go ahead, they head back into the bar, and they start to get the party started. We see that Hot Dogs is bartending for everyone. Meanwhile, Brian is trying to tap the keg, but he's not doing so that great. And we see that Isabelle has straight away found the stripper pole and is getting her dance and grind on as she's showing off her moves. Eventually, Brian is able to tap the keg in order to get that beer flowing, and everyone else is kind of standing around, not really too sure what to do, just kind of enjoying the music and watching Isabelle dance very awkwardly around the pole. We see that Davina is the first one to start dancing on her own, and soon everyone quickly joins in. We see Josie is now dancing, Brian is now dancing, and Ryland is the last to join in. And they're all just kind of enjoying their time, celebrating, making it to the finals, and having a good time.
Wafatub Fibose. Chul. Chixrim Bluff?
Vermoid.
Simbava. Bajinka?
Woo!
No! Oh,
Brian and Ryland do a bit of a failed keg stand just then, while Josie is the first house guest to take a shot at the dartboard.
Marco Finno.
Josie.
Popsine.
Minaj.
Haha.
So far, Josie is doing a pretty good job at the darts. I gotta say, it is dangerously close to Isabelle dancing on the pole. She just needs to get about 1 to 2 feet off center, and she is going to be striking Isabelle with that dart. And Davina is trying to make some room in order to do exercises, but they are all kind of cramped in this room together. There's not too much room to really do that much. But it does seem that Josie has finished up her round of darts, and she has earned a score of 7, and is celebrating that by farting and wafting it over to everyone else. Isabelle has finally hopped off the pole, and Ryland is ordering himself another glass of wine, poured by the one and only Hot Dogs. It looks as though Isabelle has hopped off that pole and is instantly going over to the keg with Brian to try to do a keg stand with him.
No, Hamplin.
Oh, Runip.
Sadly, that keg stand was another fail. None of them seem to be too good at it. Meanwhile, Davina is second up to try her shot at the dartboard, and so far only has a score of 2, but she has a little bit of time to improve. Let's see if she can beat Josie's score of 7. Meanwhile, Ryland is making his way into the bathroom, it seems like, probably to do some cleaning, probably to clean all the cups that they've had from the alcohol provided by Hot Dogs. Isabelle right now is the only house guest still dancing. She is not on the pole anymore, but we'll have to see if any of our other house guests or herself are brave enough to get on the pole again. But she does head over to the bar and order a drink from Hot Dogs. I think all of them are planning to get super drunk today. And again, it's pretty early. It's only about 10 a.m. So before noon, I suspect that all of them are going to be pretty tipsy. In the bathroom, it looks as though Ryland has finished up washing dishes, but unfortunately, he decides to use number 2 on a pranked toilet. I'm sure that's not going to end very well. However, back in the party room, we see that Josie is doing a keg stand with Brian. Brian's kind of everyone's helper in the keg stand, and she is the first one to do it successfully. We see that Davina has finished up her round of darts and has scored a 6, just 1 point below Josie. So Josie is still in the lead right now. We see that that toilet in the bathroom is now officially broken. However, both Isabelle and Josie are immediately in there trying to repair it and fix it, because right now they are locked in this room. So without a toilet, things are going to get pretty crazy. We see that Davina and Brian are now doing a keg stand, and Davina was able to do it successfully. It seems as though the more times Brian practices doing a keg stand with someone, it gets better and better for them. All right, and next up to the dartboard, we have Ryland and Brian. It looks like the two boys are going to be going head to head on the dartboard against one another. Meanwhile, all the other house guests soon make their way out of the bathroom, order another drink from Hot Dogs, and watch as the two boys compete. And hopefully none of them lose an eye or get stabbed along the way.
Ooh. Zerkala.
For once, Brian isn't helping someone do a keg stand. Instead, we have Josie and Isabelle. However, even with a new partner, Isabelle is not much better than she was before at the keg stand. I think it's best for her to just stick to ordering drinks at the bar and hanging out on the pole, if I'm being honest. It seems as though Brian is doing a little bit better than Ryland at the dartboard, but not by very much. Both of them have not scored very many points. Brian is only leading the way with 1 point in total, and doesn't look too happy about that.
Kaniva Josba.
Oh, Wagga. Ah, yibs. Best believe.
Stevie Finno. Whoop, Glathan Swape?
And it seems that I was incorrect, actually. I thought Brian was leading with that 1 point, but instead it's been Ryland this whole time. Ryland is now winning the match between him and Brian with a score of 3-0. My bad.
Sebrim.
Thanks to the girls, it looks like the bathroom is all cleaned up. Unfortunately, there's still not much privacy. As we can see, Davina looked a little bit shocked to see Josie walking in the bathroom in there. However, the two of them just start talking and bonding and have a little girly chat in the bathroom alone.
Yishla. Rinishoop. Shishtawab. Yibs. Yibs.
Back in the party room, it looks as though Ryland is still winning the match against Brian. However, he's gone up 2 points, so now it's 5-0. Brian is getting better at doing keg stands and dancing, but it doesn't seem like he's doing much improvement on his dart game. And Ryland isn't even very happy with his performance so far. They are all still not tied with Josie, who has 7 points. So Ryland is getting pretty close, but he's still in, third place behind Davina as well. It looks as though Isabelle has gone ahead and ordered herself another drink at the bar. Davina is still trying to use the bathroom and hopefully not get interrupted. And it looks as though Josie is the next to try out the pole as she does a little bit of a booty shake. She's kind of directing it straight towards Isabelle and hot dogs. However, no one is really paying her too much mind. She's doing splits, she's doing twist, and the boys are just focused on the darts. And again, hopefully she is pretty close to those darts, so hopefully she doesn't get hit. She's sticking those legs out pretty far, so we'll have to see if her ankle gets caught or anything. But she is doing a lot better than Isabelle was on that pole, and she is being super graceful. I think this one's called the ballerina, and I was not expecting all of this, but she really does look like a ballerina in a music box right now. It looks as though Isabelle is trying to join in on the party as well, and Brian and Ryland's game of darts has ended with a final score of 5-3, with Ryland being the winner of that round. However, all of them are still below Davina and Josie's score, and we only have Isabelle left to go ahead and do the darts. As she goes ahead, she gets behind the line and she starts her round of darts, and we're going to see how she matches up with everyone else. And then after that, this party will be over. So Brian's getting another cup of beer, Ryland's getting another glass of wine. All of them are trying to guzzle down more and more alcohol before Isabelle's round of darts is over and they have to leave.
Kinkubu Koiba? Yibs.
Phenomenal. Yebow! Whoa.
Josie is still doing her thing on the pole, and still not a single soul is paying her any attention whatsoever. They're all still crowded around the bar trying to get more drinks, and we see that Davina and Brian are doing one last keg stand before they have to go.
Snurp, snurp, snurp.
Oh,
Whistle of your
flip.
Unfortunately for Davina, it doesn't look as though that one was such a success as her previous keg stands. But, you know, she dusts it off, gets on going, and we see that Isabelle has finished up her round of darts and actually ties with Davina in second place with a score of 6. And officially with that, the party is now coming to a close. We see that Ryland and Brian get one last keg stand in as well, and it doesn't go so well either. It looks as though Josie has to be the queen of darts, the queen of the pole, and also the queen of keg stands, as she honestly performed the best out of everyone at this party. But now that they're all full of liquor and definitely have to use the bathroom, all of our house guests are going to waddle on over back to the living room, sit down, and Hot Dogs is going to announce the score and the results to everyone. All right, so based on your scores, we know that Josie won with a score of 7. Both Davina and Isabelle tied with 6. Brian scored a 3, and Ryland scored a 5, meaning that the winner of today's darts game was Josie. Josie, for winning, you have earned yourself an additional 500 big bucks that are going to be added to your inquiry. You are already leading the way with big bucks to begin with, but now you are just getting more and more. And it seems as though Ryland has come to the diary room to have a little chat with Big Brother.
Thank you so much to whoever it was that went, here, let's get that Ryland on, because you know what? You've made a little ginger boy's dream come true.
At 7:21 p.m., the party is officially over, and all of our house guests are kind of calming down, relaxing, calling it a night. They've been partying for about 9 hours straight, so all of them are already pretty faded, and even though it's 7 o'clock, it might as well be about 11 or midnight or so. We see that Isabelle is already in bed, fast asleep, while Josie is tucking in on some Harvest Day leftovers from the night before. And while Isabelle sleeps, we see that Brian is getting into a little bit of mischief. We know that Brian and Isabelle have been getting extremely close recently, but now that she's asleep, he's up and horny, and so is Davina. So Davina and Brian start hooking up in the garden. It gives Josie a perfect view as she is sitting in the living room eating her dinner, and she's just enjoying the sights and sounds that she could witness. Meanwhile, Ryland actually heads into the bedroom as well to join Isabelle and go ahead and call it a night. As you can see, he looks pretty exhausted and tired. And that is going to conclude our day. We only have 3 episodes left for the entire series, and soon a winner will be crowned. Who do you want to win? Vote down below. Do you want the mischievous Brian, the sexy Davina, the hungry champion Josie, the sad, happy Ryland, or the sleeping Isabelle to win Big Brother UK? Comment down below as many times as you want, and I will see you guys again.